This news comes out and people just shrug at it like, oh, because it's what were we talking about the other day? You know, nobody sits there watching the grass grow and then eventually just goes, whoa, the grass got too long. No, you ignore it. And then one day you walk outside and you go, oh, the grass is getting long, better mow it. And that's what's happening with this. It's incrementally getting worse, but not enough to where anybody actively is freaking out or people are shutting down government, like with protests or anything like that. They're ignoring it. And as long as they keep slow rolling it the way they do, it will just escalate to that point. It's not going to be one day the air raid sirens go off and a nuke drops on Kiev and we're like, wow, I can't believe it's happened. By the time an actual ICBM hits a city, we're going to be like, oh, another one? It's going to be incremental to the point where people are just like, well, that's war. I mean, look at what's going on in Ukraine right now that's been going on for a year with you know, the air raids, the missile strikes, the misfires hitting Poland. There's been so much war. And the crazy thing to me is 50 years from now, they will write about the Ukraine-Russia conflict, probably the NATO-Russia conflict, because it's going to escalate. We're in it right now, and it seems like non-existent, far away. It's been so gradual that we're not shocked that there is a land war in Eastern Europe at this point. We're bored with it. That's the scary thing.
Well, and we're not even talking about the Middle East at all. So,
Yeah.
which is not like there's nothing going on there.
There's tons of stuff going on, but I think we just got this slow boil to the point where everyone is completely used to the bathwater, right? I mean, I remember writing about, you know, the months leading up before Russia invaded. There's troops on the border. There's troops on the border. There's troops on the border. Russia says it's not a big deal. Russia says it's just a military exercise. And then, like, they talked to Biden, and it just went on. And eventually, you know, it felt like a big moment in time, but then we continued on. We know there's conflict. We know there's mounting geopolitical tension everywhere, but to what end, right? If you are American, if you're an American going about your day-to-day life, like there isn't a major change. It's not like Russia has now also invaded Poland. They're staying where they are, and so therefore it doesn't feel like an escalation. When you learn about war retrospectively, you're able to say, you know, even though things happen over 3 or 4 or 5 years, you learn about them in quick succession, so it feels faster.
I have a friend out in LA who I'm not going to name his name because it's what he said to me. I think
Bill.
is absolutely ridiculous. We'll call him Bill for the sake of the argument. He has 2 kids. They're like 10 and 7. And like, dude, do you want to send your kids over there? Because if you really think Ukraine is Ukraine, get out Putin. You're willing to send them over there? You want him to see his legs get blown off by a mortar?
What do you say?
I didn't ask. I'm asking you right now, dude. Are you willing to put your kids over there? Because that's the direction.
Look, come on, man. You know, this is the thing that's so tiring. These liberal types who wave the flags, of course they would never send their own kids.
I don't think you have a choice. If you set this ball in motion, gravity takes over. You can't stop it.
Listen, these are people who gorge themselves on ho-hos and ding-dongs and then demand that you pay for their health care.
And the worst part is that's not even this guy. This guy's like legit, but he's in it. He's in that liberal state of LA, like willing to throw his children away because of Joe Biden. Like Joe Biden told him so. I don't get it, man. You think that East Palestine, Ohio is bad? Imagine if that was intentionally done to the city 9 times a day to 9 different cities by a foreign government that you have no control to stop. That's the precipice.
And imagine you have one time in East Palestine happens to only 5,000 people. And the president says, I will not go there, and then secretly travels to a foreign country halfway around the world to give $500 million to. We could not get action on Flint. We could not get action on Newark and Pittsburgh. And it was the left being like, yo, fix these things. Joe Biden snaps his fingers to hop on a plane and fly to Ukraine for $500 million for a country most people can't even find on a map. I like Ukraine, man. I don't like what Russia's doing. I get it. There's conflict. We talk all day and night about Burisma, the energy sector, Nord Stream, all that stuff. But it's just really gut-punching demoralization when the president outright says, I will not visit East Palestine. These people, you just got to understand about this train crash. Benny Johnson, do you guys see this video? He went out and gave 20 grand. He found the 20 houses surrounding, the closest 20 houses surrounding the disaster. He gave each of them $1,000. That's really great. I'll do the Hassan-ism of, does it really have to be some commentator to go and give money to these poor people Why can't Joe Biden, why can't the government do anything to help these people? I pay taxes. I have no problem with the government being like, yeah, a portion of those taxes are going to go to make sure that this disaster is cleaned up. Because it's kind of like, hey, we're paying for something, right? No. Not only will he not go there, he'll go and give your money away to a foreign country for a war that we don't know anything about or why it's happening. And they try and convince us, we got to stand with Ukraine. For what reason are we at war in Ukraine? For what reason?